Ashenvale Forest was never truly quiet. Even at night, its ancient canopy whispered leaves brushing against moonlight, distant birds calling through the dark. Tonight it was silent. Not the peaceful silence of sleep, but the kind that warned something was wrong. Thraka tightened his grip around the hilt of his rusted cleaver, his knuckles gray-green and scarred pressed hard against cold steel. This was not Durotar. There was no dust, no dry wind. The air here was thick, sweet, heavy with magic. Every breath burned his lungs. TCH, cursed forest. Suddenly a twig snapped behind him. Thraka didn't turn. Instead, he leaned his broad back against the trunk of a massive silverwood tree, his tusks bared in a silent snarl. "I know you're there, Nyfear. I can smell the moonflower on your breath." From the shadows above, a figure appeared. 20 feet up, standing effortlessly on a low-hanging branch, Elara shimmered into existence. Her skin was the color of bruised plum, her eyes two burning pools of silver light. She did not draw her bow. Not yet. Her hand rested instead on a curved glaive, its edge glowing like a sliver of the moon. "You're a long way from your mud hut's orc." She dropped to the forest floor, landing as softly as a falling leaf. "The sentinels saw your smoke 3 miles back. You're not a scout, you're bait." Thraka finally turned, his heavy jaw setting. "I'm neither. I'm a dead man if we don't move, both of us." In a blink, Elara closed the distance, her glaive pressing against Thraka's thick throat. "Give me one reason not to open your neck." Thraka didn't flinch. "The Pale Ones. They aren't Horde. They aren't Alliance. They've followed me since the Barrens. They don't breathe elf, and they don't stop." As if summoned by his words, the forest darkened. Purple moonlight faded beneath a sickly gray fog crawling across the ground. From the mist, silhouettes emerged, armored figures in tattered black tabards, their movements jerky, unnatural. The cult of the damned. Without a word, the orc and the night elf moved back to back, a stance that defied 10,000 years of hatred. Thraka became a storm of brute force, each swing of his cleaver shattering bone and armor alike. Elara was a blur of violet light, her glaive spinning in a deadly dance. 3 ghouls fell headless in a single motion. "There are too many," she shouted. "The gorge." Thraka roared, pointing toward a narrow, rocky pass, 100 yards east. "We bottleneck them, or we die here." "I don't run with monsters," she yelled back, but she was already moving. "Then die with the statues," Thraka bellowed, crushing a screeching ghoul that lunged for her. They reached the gorge just as clouds swallowed the moon. For one long, brutal hour, they held the line. Thraka became a living wall, meat, iron, and rage. He took a deep claw swipe across his chest, meant for Elara, but he didn't fall. Elara leaped and spun through the chaos, her glaive a silver crescent of death, striking down necromancers hiding behind their undead shields, bone piled on stone. As the fog thinned, and finally, dawn broke through the canopy. The mist vanished with the rising sun. The Pale Ones lay still, nothing more than shattered bone and rusted scrap. Thraka slumped against the gorge wall, a deep claw mark weeping dark blood across his chest. Elara stood nearby, her armor chipped, her breath heavy. For the first time, she truly looked at him, not as a monster, but as a soldier. Slowly, Elara sheathed her glaive. She reached into a pouch and tossed a small vial at his feet. "Moonwell water? It'll stop the rot from setting in. Drink it. And leave. If I see you in these woods tomorrow, won't be out of arrows." Thraka uncorked the vial, drank the glowing liquid, and gave a slow, respectful nod. "And if I see you on the battlefield, elf, I'll aim for someone else." She was gone before he finished speaking, disappearing into the shadows as if she were never there. Thraka stood alone beneath the trees, the taste of silver on his tongue, an impossible debt on his shoulders. In a world of endless war, even enemies can share a moment of honor. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more.